T. See what's new from AT&T. Visit att.com for details. And buy the Miller Lite aluminum pint. 4 more ounces of that great Pilsner taste.
Anticipation. It's nearly time. When theory dips. When guessing stops. When planning ends. The working, the wondering, the waiting. Almost over.
Well, it might as well be a state holiday. And let me tell you, nobody does this day better than Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Major League Baseball's opening week presented by Mitsubishi Motors. It's the Colorado Rockies and the Milwaukee Brewers. It's game 1 of the 2010 season. Hi, everybody. Brian Anderson along with Bill Schroeder. We are delighted to be with you. Glad you're with us for this entire championship campaign. Ready to kick it off, Rocket. Again, this is your 16th year in the booth. You go back to 1984 for Major League opening days. It's a beautiful day for baseball, and it's always a special day in Milwaukee.
I don't remember ever having an opening day. The weather that they have here, the first time Miller Park roof has been opened ever in the month of April, and opening day outstanding. I don't care how long you're in this game. 15 years, 1 year, it doesn't matter. Opening day is still a special thing. Unlike any other sport, baseball's opening day is something great. Not be very old, but he's very mature. He's got to control his emotions early today.
One of the many young stars, Braun and Fielder, they're ready to go. Let's get to it. Who's ready to play ball? The 2010 season starts next, right here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Goosebumps after that. You're not breathing. Opening day in Milwaukee, and a beautiful day it is. Brian Anderson with Bill Schroeder. Telly Hughes is with us. Chris Withers produces. Michael Odino is your director, and we are set for baseball. Game 1 of 162, and Giovanni Gallardo, at 24 years of age, will get the Game 1 start here this afternoon against the Colorado Rockies. Let's get you to the starting lineups. First for the visiting Rockies. It's brought to you by Subway. Jim Tracy, the National League Manager of the Year. He lines them up with Gonzalez at the top. Seth Smith batting second with Todd Helton in third. Troy Tulowitzki, Brad Hopp, and Chris Iannetta in the middle. And the bottom three, Ian Stewart, Clint Barmes, and Ubaldo Jimenez. Defensively for the Brewers, it's Braun, Gomez, and Jim Edmonds. The infield is Casey McGee, Alcides Escobar, Ricky Weeks, and Prince Fielder. The battery of Greg Zahn and Giovanni Gallardo, his first career opening day start. Bill
Well,
Schroeder.
you know, he's got to be excited, and it's going to be important for him to have some success early on to calm those nerves.
Starts him with a strike, and away we go as Carlos Gonzalez leads off for Colorado. Home plate umpire today is Jerry Crawford. It's Chris Guccione, Phil Cuzzi, and Brian Onora on the bases. Spectacular day for baseball in Brewtown. Temperatures will soar in the mid to upper 60s, might even get into the 70s before we're done here. And the earliest the roof has been opened for a regular season game here at Miller Park.
Yeah, I've been around here a long time. I can't remember a day nicer than this for opening day. Tremendous.
Little bouncer, Weeks backhands it, no chance to get the speedy Carlos Gonzalez, and the Rockies started with an infield hit. Well, we went to the record books. We wanted to find out, since Miller Park opened in 2001, the earliest dates that the roof has been open, and obviously it's never been April 5th. But typically it goes into May before you get the open roof. Got to go back to the 2003 season to find one earlier. So the Rockies with a man on, and here is Seth Smith. So important for Gallardo to contain the nerves. Jerry Augustine was talking about it during Brewers Live today. It's important to try to settle down that adrenaline and just kind of get into your routine and do what you know.
Well, particularly when you're making your first opening day start. Opening day to start the season is at home, and everybody's amped up a little bit, not just Gallardo. This is the day that these guys have been waiting for all spring long. Spring training lasts an awful long time. Last week, the 10 days, it's all anybody was talking about down in Phoenix. Can't wait for opening day. Baseball that matters, baseball that counts. And here we are.
And a very Phoenix, Arizona type day as they continue to file in. One of the things about Milwaukee, the ballpark's not full for first pitch. That's because there's too much fun going on in the parking lots. The tailgating is like nowhere else, and they're still pushing their way into the ballpark. 2 balls, no strikes on Smith. 3-0. Seth Smith, one of the best pinch hitters in all of baseball last year. Matter of fact, he led all of baseball in pinch hit batting average. .472 hitter coming off the bench for Jim Tracy's Rockies, a playoff team from a year ago. Rockies won the wild card last season, and it earned their manager the Manager of the Year in the National League. And there is the patriarch of this Rockies ball club, Todd Helton, who makes his 13th consecutive opening day start. There's a strike. Throw to second in time. Greg Zahn guns down Gonzalez.
Boy, an absolute bullet from Greg Zahn. The best throw we've seen him make all spring. Waits for opening day. Check it out. Not a very good jump by Gonzalez, and a perfect strike by Zahn, and Escobar waiting for him there. What a nice throw. Good job by Gallardo to get rid of it quickly.
A new Brewer acquisition, Greg Zahn, switch hitting catcher. And Gallardo strikes out Smith. So 2 outs in this first inning.
How about that? A man at first base, a 3-0 count. Things weren't looking very good for Gallardo. And now all of a sudden 2 outs and nobody on. Good job by Yo to come back. Down in the count 3-0. And look at the fastball right on the corner. Precision fastball on 3-2.
Here's Todd Helton now. Helton signing a contract extension that'll keep him in a Rockies uniform at least through the 2013 season. One of the most tenured players in the major leagues, especially with one team. This is his only team, the Colorado Rockies.
You can't imagine him playing for anybody else. You know, the Colorado Rockies have only had 2 opening day first basemen, Helton and Galarraga.
And only Chipper Jones has made more consecutive opening day starts than Todd Helton for one club. Now the Rockies lost out to the Philadelphia Phillies in the division series last year. Jim Tracy took over for Clint Hurdle, and the ball club went 74-42 once he took over. 32 games over 500 under Tracy.
And they were awfully tough on the Brewers last year, running the table 6-0 against Milwaukee. This is a good ball club, these Rockies. A lot of baseball experts feel as though they're going to win the West.
Tracy has most of his roster back from a playoff team last year. Gallardo will make the play, and a successful first inning. And now the big boys are coming up for the first time at Miller Park in 2010. Day here in Milwaukee. The Rockies failed to score in the first inning despite an infield hit. And now the Brewers ready to hit. Ken Macha's Subway lineup. It's Ricky Weeks, Carlos Gomez, and Ryan Braun at the top. Prince Fielder, Jim Edmonds, and Casey McGee in the middle of Macha's order with Greg Zahn, Alcides Escobar, and Giovanni Gallardo. Ubaldo Jimenez on the mound for the Colorado Rockies, also making his first career opening day start.
Yeah, hard thrower, good slider. He was 15-12 last year. After starting the year, first 2 months, 3-6. So something clicked with this young man. He's a good one. He throws hard, throws a lot of strikes.
Jimenez was their Game 1 starter in the postseason a year ago. And he gets the ball today for Jim Tracy. Ricky Weeks digs in. Brewers are very confident in their offense this year. They have a little bit different look in their offense this season. A lot more speed to go to in Gomez and Alcides Escobar. And Ken Macha has stated this club is going to run a lot more than what we saw a year ago.
And the top 2 in his batting order are going to be responsible for a lot of it. In spring training, 37 stolen bases in 47 attempts.
Weeks and Gomez, the top 2 in the order. There was some thought that Escobar would hit second. But approaching opening day, Gomez was in that spot, and that's the way it is on this day.
Man, that's the pitch right there that Ricky took that the Brewers are going to have to lay off of. That heavy sinker from Jimenez. Gets a lot of ground balls when he's right.
Well, Jimenez has a big fastball, as you can see, 97 miles an hour. Tall right-hander from the Dominican Republic. Ricky Weeks this spring hit .310. He had a good spring. A couple of home runs. 8 runs batted in. It's been a long road back for Weeks. Had wrist surgery in May of last year. It knocked him out for the rest of the season. Plenty of adrenaline pumping through the right arm of Ubaldo Jimenez to start this game. It'll be a tough play. Stewart. Ricky Weeks with an infield hit. So Ricky is aboard, and now Carlos Gomez ready to make his Brewers debut. The Brewers picked him up in a trade with the Minnesota Twins. J.J. Hardy sent to Minnesota. Gomez, a down year offensively. He's only 24 years of age. You're not real sure what you're going to get offensively from Gomez, but you know he's going to play great defense. He's got one of the best arms among National League and Major League center fielders. And if he hits at all and can get on base at all, this offense is really going to click.
Well, one thing you'd say about Gomez, he's a max effort guy. I mean, whatever he's doing, he's going to give you 100%. Takes a big hack, and boy, can he fly. He gets out of the box quicker than anybody that you're going to see. And he can run. He likes to bunt for base hits, which is good in front of Ryan and Prince.
A chance for 2 here. Tulowitzki will take it himself. And a 6-3 double play as Ryan Braun will hit.
Number 8, left fielder, Ryan Braun.
The only National Leaguer a year ago with more than 200 hits. Braun hit .320 last season with 32 home runs, drove in 114, and makes up one half of one of the premier duos in all of baseball, in Braun and Fielder. To Tulowitzki, bobbles, and Braun is safe.
Well, that's something you don't see much. Tulowitzki putting a ground ball. Only Jimmy Rollins had a better fielding percentage than Troy Tulowitzki at shortstop in the National League. That's a rarity right there, folks. As routine as it gets, first pitch, there's that sinker we were talking about. Rolls right up the glove, and that'll be an E6. And giving Prince Fielder an opportunity with 2 outs.
A .986 fielding percentage since 2007 when Tulowitzki first came onto the scene. A rare error allows Braun to first and Fielder a swat here in this first inning. Shadows will certainly play a part in today's game as they continue on a bright sunny day, and as we move into the middle innings, those shadows will creep out beyond the plate, halfway to the mound, and it can be tough.
Always making it more difficult to pick up the spin of the baseball when the conditions are like that, but we'll see how the new batter's eye here at Miller Park is going to maybe help that for the hitters.
Yeah, the ivy is gone and has been replaced with black paint at the request of Brewers hitters a season ago. There's the new batter's eye.
Maybe next it's the windows. They might be gone next year.
A little black paint on the windows as well.
Cover them up.
Fielder against Jimenez. 2 outs in this first inning. Off the end of the bat, Gonzalez coming in, and he can't get it. Braun's on his way to third. Fielder has his first hit of the season. The Brewers in business with runners at the corners.
Now, ordinarily, a baseball that you're going to see Carlos Gonzalez able to handle in center. He got a terrible jump on it. He was playing deep because Prince is at the plate. A late break, and Prince able to get himself a base hit. Yeah, curveball from Jimenez, and Prince able to get just enough of it to dump it into center field.
Always good to get that first one out of the way, isn't it? No matter how it comes.
Yeah. Keep the inning alive. An error, and now a Texas leaguer into center field. Let's see if Edmonds can drive him in.
Jim Edmonds is a Brewer. As you pick yourself up off your chair, a guy who has tormented the Milwaukee Brewers in 2 division rival stops, the Cardinals and the Cubs. He is glad to be in Milwaukee this year. A non-roster invitee to spring training who was not guaranteed a job. Swung the bat so well he made this club after an entire year off in 2009. It's a testament to his skills to be able to come back and get right into the groove as a major league hitter.
Yeah, not many can do that at his age, that's for sure. Pushing 40 years old. Had a terrific spring. He started to drive the ball pretty well toward the end of spring training and hasn't missed a step defensively.
A number of factors went into the decision to start Edmonds instead of Corey Hart, and we're going to hear from Ken Maka a little bit later in the broadcast, and we'll certainly ask him that. But Edmonds is 3 for 5 career against Jimenez. He's a guy he's faced, and also he brings a little balance to the lineup. The 0-2. Ball and 2 strikes on Edmonds.
Jimenez feeling pretty good out there, isn't he? First inning. 98 miles an hour in that last fastball.
I think his worst fastball was his first one. It was 96.
Yeah. Got a good arm.
Runners at the corners. And that one just missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Edmonds.
That one didn't miss by much. I think Jimenez wanted that pitch. Check it out. A little high, maybe.
Sometimes you got to sell it as a hitter, Rock. That almost hit me.
I'm a veteran. I know what a strike is.
Struck him out. So Jimenez gives up a couple of hits, survives an error. The Brewers go scoreless in the first.
With you, subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Brewers game live or on demand on your computer. Visit Brewers.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. Local and market blackouts may apply.
Opening day bunting is up. A lot of festivities before the game. 40th anniversary of Major League Baseball here in Milwaukee, and something the Brewers will be celebrating all year long as we go through the decades. Gallardo back on the mound. He faces Troy Tulowitzki to start this second inning. One of the premier players in baseball, Tulowitzki. Finished 5th last year for National League Most Valuable Player. 32 home runs from the shortstop position a season ago for Tulowitzki.
And boy, did he dismantle the Brewers. He hit .650 against the Brewers last year. 13 for 20. Remember that series he had in Colorado?
Couldn't get him out.
No.
It's another one that Gallardo takes from the mound. And the first out. Boy, you saw Fielder clutch a little bit. Must be tough to see with the bright sunshine behind the pitcher and maybe all the T-shirts. He didn't see that ball that well. Might be something to pay attention to.
Not used to seeing the T-shirts in April at Miller Park, right? Well, Yo puts himself in very good position to field after he gets rid of it. Squares his shoulders, able to knock it down and get the out.
Here's Brad Hawk now for Colorado. Rockies a left-handed dominant lineup as well. Off 23 home runs last year. This club has a ton of power. And what's interesting about Colorado, many of their players are homegrown. They're a lot like the Brewers in that regard. They have a tremendous farm system. They've been to the postseason 2 of the last 3 years. They were in the World Series back in '07. That one's pretty well hit. Gonzalez, or Gomez rather, gives a chase. That'll bounce out. That's a ground rule double. Brad Hawk with a 1-out double into right center.
Yeah, I don't think offense is going to be a problem for the Rockies. They did a nice job last year, particularly in the second half. Second only to the Philadelphia Phillies in home runs a year ago. And Brad Hawk centers on one. A mistake by Yo. Got too much of the plate with it, and hopped it out of the ballpark. They can hit. Now you talk about homegrown talent. Only Carlos Gonzalez, the only non-homegrown player to start today for Colorado.
8 of the 9 starters, and on their 25-man roster, the homegrown number is 13. So more than half of their roster is from their farm system, including this man, Chris Iannetta.
Yeah, including Todd Helton when their farm system was just starting. He's been around a while.
He launched the farm system. Rockies are without Yorvi Torrealba. Signed a deal with the San Diego Padres. Iannetta was the starter most of the year last year, but then Torrealba ended up taking the role, in a more prominent role, in September and on into the postseason. But even this year, the Rockies don't necessarily have a starter/backup scenario behind the plate. Iannetta will share duties with Olivo. But it's Iannetta who gets the opening day nod.
Well, most teams, your catchers are going to split duty. You're going to have one that's going to catch a little bit more than another. Similar situation with the Brewers this year with Greg Zahn. You would not think that he's going to catch as much as Jason Kendall has last couple of years. So George Coteras, you were going to see him in the lineup a lot more.
That's a big pitch for Gallardo, the curveball that he has been asked to use in strikeout situations, deeper in a count. That's normally his big swing and miss pitch. Rick Peterson, new pitching coach, has made a couple of tweaks to Gallardo's windup and delivery, and as far as strategy goes, how he uses that breaking ball.
Yeah, use it as a strikeout pitch and not so much early in the count. Last year, Yo walked 94 batters while striking out 204. Now you limit those walks, you keep that pitch count down, and you stay in the ball game longer. That curveball is a tough pitch to throw her for a strike.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Iannetta. Got him to pop up. That's the kind of swing you're looking for on the curveball. And McGee will bring it in for the second out. It's those awkward swings, not just the swing and the miss, but he takes the hitter out of a strong hitting position with that pitch. And it's not just the break of it, it's the spike on it, the velocity of the curve.
Well, 80 miles an hour on that curveball. It breaks late, which fools the hitter. That's why you get that on your front foot type swing. And he can change speeds on that curveball. He's got that hard 2-strike, put you away curveball. Then he's got the little slower one that's tougher to throw for a strike. But that's the pitch that he was able to get Iannetta.
Here's Ian Stewart, Rockies' third baseman. He was Colorado's opening day second baseman last year. Another guy with plenty of pop in his bat. 25 home runs. He drove in 70. Brad Hawpe doubled into right center. Brewers will have 3 against the Rockies to start the season. Tomorrow night, first night game of the year, a 7:10 start. The finale of this series is a day game. That's a 12:10 start on Wednesday. And then the Brewers will take a day off before the Cardinals come to town Friday. 6-game, 7-day homestand to start the year. Skips by Zahn, and he can't find it. And Hawpe's going to keep coming. Zahn's play to the plate is late. Brad Hawpe scores. Zahn never found the baseball, and the Rockies score first.
Yeah, changeup that I think Zahn was fooled a little bit. The problem, the mistake that Zahn made, he kept looking for it. You got to look to your pitcher, and Yo's got to point to where the baseball is. If you really have a problem when you're catching back there, you get that mask off, you start spinning yourself around. That's a ball that's got to be handled behind home plate. Never does look at Gallardo and finally realizes where it is, but it's too late. If you can't find the ball when you're behind home plate, look at your pitcher, and he'll point you to where it is.
Well, the first run of the season comes on a wild pitch as Hawpe scores all the way from second, and that one is hit well to center field. Gomez running out of room, and Ian Stewart bangs one high off the scoreboard. Wow, that was an impressive home run. And it's 2-0 Colorado. That's up there in Prince Fielder territory.
And he gave that one a ride, didn't he? Wow. 3-0 count. They gave him the green light, and he hit it a ton. There it is, fastball out over the plate. Ian Stewart with plenty of pop in that bat knocks one out of here.
Goodness. So 2-0 Colorado. Here's Clint Barmes. Not many can hit him up there. Fielder hit one up there last year, but that's reserved for only the biggest and strongest of power hitters in baseball.
Man, both of these clubs have an ample supply of guys like that. This Colorado club can slug with the best of them. The Brewers saw that last year. This doesn't seem as though Gallardo has good feel for his changeup today. His off-speed pitches have not been very consistent, and he's found himself having to throw too many fastballs.
He's got Barmes in a hole, 1-2, and strikes him out. So Gallardo gives up a couple of runs. Long home run to Ian Stewart. We head to the bottom of the second. Casey McGee ready to lead off the Brewers down a pair.
Park for the opener. I'm pleased to be joined by Neil Wood, who has been coming to opening day since the Brewers came to Milwaukee. And can you remember a day as good as this one for opening day?
Maybe one in the middle 70s against Baltimore. We sat up in the left field upper deck, about 70 degrees outside. Just a beautiful, gorgeous day. But no, this is probably the best.
Now, you and the people you come with make this an event. You guys come and stay in a hotel, the same hotel every year. Tell us a little bit about what opening day means to you.
Oh, it's just summer, baseball, hot dogs, apple pie. It's a thing. It's getting together with friends. It's the atmosphere, and it's the Brewers. Major League Baseball. I went without Major League Baseball, and the Braves left. And this is a great event.
Well, baseball is back, and we want you to enjoy the rest of the game. Thanks for joining us, Neil.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, B.A. and Rock, let's send it up to you.
All right, Telly, thanks a lot. Casey McGee pounds one back up the middle for a base hit. And a good start for the Crew here in this second inning. And a good feeling for McGee, who had a rough spring. Picks up a hit at his first try.
Well, Casey not afraid to go after first pitch fastball, particularly right down the middle of the plate. You see how close Casey McGee is to home plate. He likes it in on him. Jimenez gave him one to hit that time.
Here's Greg Zahn, switch hitting Brewers catcher. Zahn will be the starter, but as Rock mentioned, he's rarely caught over 100 games in his career, only on 3 occasions. He's primarily been a backup in his career, but he gets the chance to be the everyday catcher for Ken Maka. George Gutierrez will back him up and see a lot more playing time than the backups in recent years. Chance for 2 here. Helton over to Tulowitzki, and for the second consecutive inning, the Rockies turn a double play. Let's check out that Rockies starting lineup defensively. It's brought to you by Blaine's. Seth Smith is the starter in left field today. Dexter Fowler also in that rotation with Gonzalez and Hoff in the outfield. Infield is Stewart, Tulowitzki, Barmes, and Helton, and a battery of Iannetta and Jimenez. As we mentioned, mostly homegrown in that Rockies lineup. Here is Alcides Escobar. His first opening day assignment.
Escobar very impressive in spring training, made some tremendous plays at shortstop. And the one concern that you have with a kid like Escobar, as young as he is, maybe not being real consistent with the routine play. That wasn't the case. And you saw the numbers for him. Outstanding numbers in spring training. He swung the bat well.
Escobar played winter ball this year as well in Venezuela, and he led the Venezuelan Winter League in batting this season. He's got a lot of speed. Stewart will make the play, throws it away. That one bounced off the bottom casing of the dugout. Fortunately for the Rockies, Escobar only gets first base. Could have easily been at second base with another inch or 2.
And a little shoddy defense by the Rockies. First Tulowitzki, now Stewart. This is what speed will do for you. Escobar getting out of the line in good shape. Stewart having to rush his throw, and he got under one and not even close at first base. Terrible throw. And this is why right here, running hard down the line on a one hopper, putting the pressure on the defense. That's a definition of that.
Second error of the game. Rockies known as a very good defensive club. Gallardo shatters his bat, and the side is retired. So 2 errors, 3 hits thus far. The Brewers yet to put a number on the board. It's 2-0 Rockies. When we come back, we'll hear from the owner. Mark Atanasio joins us in the booth. Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is presented by Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin, and by Ho Chunk Casino, your ticket to more. Boy, doesn't the field look great? Opening day in Milwaukee. Brian Anderson with Bill Schroeder. Mark Atanasio, Brewers owner, joins us here. An opening day tradition to have you on the air, and the season starts with an opening day tradition as well. Your father, Joseph, did a great job with the national anthem once again.
As my brother Robert said, he doesn't phone it in. He really belted it out once again.
Got a great ovation here, and just your thoughts from an ownership perspective about opening day in Milwaukee.
Well, it's better than opening day with the roof open, right, Brian?
That's for sure.
Although somebody said maybe opening day of the playoffs with the roof open.
Yeah, there you go.
I like that idea.
Your thoughts, how spring went. You follow the club very closely. The ball club, you got to be happy with the way things turned out.
Hey, Rock, I think most important thing is we're healthy. Other than Jeff Suppan developing a little problem with his neck, everybody's really came through unscathed, and we got a lot of depth this year. We have as deep a team as we've had since we've owned the team, and I'm excited about that.
You've been excited about all the base stealing that you've seen down in Arizona? I know I am.
Yeah,
I like that.
I kind of like the small ball. I was hoping that Carlos Gomez would lay a bunt down in the first inning there, so I'll send that down to the dugout. But we got a lot of speed, and we're going to score some runs with it.
Now, when you have hopes like that, you have a little notepad and a little runner that goes to Ken Maka as Zahn high throw and Jimenez. Oh, Prince is saying he tagged him.
It looks like the umpire said he did tag him.
I don't know if he was calling him out or pointing at first base, saying he stepped on the bag. A little bit of a confusing call from Brian O'Nora, but Jimenez will stay, and it's going to be an error. So the third error already.
Yeah, well, Prince Fielder, trying to slap the tag on him. He got the tag, but Jimenez already on the bag. Got to make that play. You saw Zahn. He dropped the arm a little bit. Ball sailed and pulled Prince off the bag. Defense a little shoddy here, boss.
Yeah, both teams seem to look like they have the jitters or something out there in defense today.
Mark Atanasio joins us here in the booth on a beautiful opening day in Milwaukee, and to see this kind of crowd, and obviously you expect this kind of crowd for opening day, but this scene here is basically what we see on just about every night these days.
Well, this is, we're 3 million fans 2 years in a row, and our season ticket sales are, frankly, they're ahead of the pace in 2008, where we had our largest crowds ever. And really appreciate the fan support, and hopefully they're excited. I think talking to fans today outside of the tailgate, people are excited about the team we have on the field, and come out and support the team.
Mark, I remember your first couple of years, sleepless nights before opening day. How does the Atanasio family handle opening day and the start of the season these days?
Debbie was saying last night, my wife Debbie, we're a little more relaxed. We realize not everybody's focused on what color tie I have on or whatever. But wonder if everybody knows I haven't shaved yet.
Oh, I did notice that.
Good look. It's a good look.
Thanks. Well,
yeah.
Helped us get to the playoffs a couple of years ago.
I remember that from the playoffs. If you put the goggles on, you'd have the complimented look.
Not the playoff look, right.
One of the great images from the 2008 season. The boss with the goggles and the 5 o'clock shadow going. I got a chance here. Oh, what a play by Ricky Weeks, and Escobar the turn. My goodness. Ricky Weeks. Wow, showing great hands. And the Brewers double up a very speedy runner.
Yeah, really no ill effects of missing all that time last year. Ricky, really a nice addition. I know the players are glad to have him back there, but, Mark, having Ricky Weeks really means a lot to this club.
Ricky can help us win games in so many ways. You saw right there that ball took a bad hop, and he made a spectacular play. And, hitting, fielding, running. And Doug Melvin was pointing out in the press conference this morning, he and Escobar have very strong arms. They have plus arms for infielders. So when balls hit in the gaps, we hope we don't see too many of those, but they think they may hold runners up at third base because those guys can throw them out at the plate.
Yeah, with the speed in that outfield, the gaps get pretty small. With Gomez, you have Corey and Wright from time to time. You have Ryan, he can run. So a lot of team speed just doesn't really show up running the bases. On defense, it helps as well.
Gallardo facing Seth Smith with 2 away. Now, Mark, we're going to be busy tomorrow. Tomorrow at noon at the Milwaukee YMCA. Big event coming up. I don't want to give away all the details. We'll talk about it tomorrow, but I know you're looking forward to that.
Yeah, we're we've kind of rebranded our charitable efforts here in the Brewers Community Foundation, and we have a big event tomorrow at the Y. And
there is the Atanasio family that will be joining us. So we'll have footage of that. Mark, always great to see you. Great to get the season kicked off. Thanks for being here.
Thanks. Pleasure.
All right. Mark
Go Brewers.
Absolutely. Good inning for Gallardo. And we head to the third. Top of the order coming up. Ricky Weeks in the top of the third. He steps up to hit. Weeks last year, it was on this swing on May 17th. That was in St. Louis. He tore the tendon in his left wrist and subsequently had surgery that knocked him out for the rest of the season. He had the same surgery 3 years ago on his right wrist. So he's had both procedures done on both wrists. And Ricky Weeks says he is healthy. His wrist is 100%. And based on the kind of spring he had, and not just the numbers he put up, but the check swings, the head first slides.
Just by the way he was swinging the bat, you could tell that there was really no ill effects of that surgery from a year ago. Now, everybody talks about Ricky and how much he was missed on the field with the good start with the home runs, and the defense was really improved. That team missed him a lot in that clubhouse. He means more to the psyche of this ball club than most people realize.
Now, Weeks still has that pretty violent waggle before the swing where he rocks that bat back and forth, very much in the Gary Sheffield way.
That's going to be tough to stop. He's been doing that a long time.
He tried in spring training to tone it down a little bit, but it's just not where his comfort level is. It's not something you want to think about, so you kind of let your natural reactions take over, and he feels like there's really no need to stop. The Brewers have 3 hits, all singles, and the Rockies have committed 2 errors. But Jimenez still a 0 on the board.
Opening day jitters maybe for both sides.
I think you're right, Mark. Made a good point. I mean, he was down on the field, obviously, talking to some of the guys before the game. And no matter how many years you've been in the big leagues, opening day just has that extra energy to it. Weeks draws a walk. He did that a lot this spring. And now we'll see if the Brewers can get the offense cranked up. Well, Rock, we got our Car Soup BrewsNetwork.com. Email the booth question. We'll have these all year long. You can get interactive with us here in the booth. Katie in Appleton wants to know, what are some of your favorite opening day memories?
Well, my favorite opening day memory was the first time that I drove my car. I think it was an old Thunderbird that I had. I drove in from New Jersey. My first opening day, 84. First time I ever took that drive down from Story Parkway, into County Stadium. I got there about 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning. I thought the place was on fire. I'd never seen so much tailgating. I didn't know what tailgating was, so I thought I was going to be there early. Fans everywhere, tailgating, having a great time. I actually almost wasn't able to get into the ballpark. Nobody believed I was the catcher.
There's a base hit by Gomez. And the first two have reached base.
And they were convinced I wasn't once they saw me play.
Yeah, exactly. So
but I was going to say it before you did.
Beat me to the punchline.
Yeah. But I remember my first opening day start. It was the year later. As you see Gomez taking a fastball in. That's a dangerous spot to Gomez. He likes it in there. He's got a very quick bat. First opening day start right here in Milwaukee County Stadium against the Boston Red Sox. We were up 1-0 going into the second inning. Base hit by Molitor. Steal a second. Double by Yount. 1-0 Brewers.
Wow.
How many times has that happened?
That's a ball game.
Bob Stanley, the starting pitcher for the Red Sox.
Who will live in infamy with Boston. Now, so here's Braun. And the lineup that Ken Maka puts together in his ideal scenario, it's Weeks and Gomez on base with all of that speed. And Ryan Braun and Prince Fielder coming up.
And the way Gomez runs the bases, he's kind of upset that Ricky's out there because he has to stay at first.
It's clogging him up.
He loves to run.
Rocky's got two in the second. First run scored on a wild pitch. He and Stewart hit a long home run to center field for the second run. And now the Brewers with their best chance to score against Jimenez.
Brewers have done a nice job laying off that sinker. That pitch that starts out around the knees and then ends up dropping out of the strike zone when it gets to home plate. That last pitch that Ryan took, tough pitch to lay off of.
There's a strike. 2-1 to Braun. And our new element this year, Fox Tracks. Give you an idea of where these pitches cross the strike zone.
And it's pretty accurate, too, from what we understand. Within 1 inch, which isn't too bad.
And you see how Jimenez is deciding to work to Braun. 2-1. Tied him up. There's that sinker from Jimenez. 99 miles an hour with that fastball.
Yeah, with movement. Are you kidding me? Check it out. Off the inside corner, but didn't start there. All that movement late.
Not a lot of time to make up your mind when it's coming in with that kind of heat. Both runners take off. Braun fouls it off his foot. Ricky got a big jump. That's one thing about Jimenez the Brewers will try to exploit today as long as he's in the game. He's a guy that you can run on. Slow to home plate with his delivery.
And with all the ground balls that he throws, that's important because you take away that double play. You can maybe score a run on a ground ball with Ricky at third base. There's been a lot of communication, a lot of talking during spring training between Weeks and Gomez about that play right there. I'm going to take off. I'm not stopping, so follow me.
And once Gomez saw Weeks start, he started as well. We'll see if they're on the move here again. 2-2 to Ryan Braun. Fielder is on deck. All three Rockies outfielders with plus arms. Smith, Gonzalez, and Hop. And Ryan spoils one. Well, the Brewers, like the Rockies, can hit the long ball, and last year it was Fielder who led the way, 46 home runs, had a 50 home run season the year before that. Braun with 32 long balls last year. Casey McGee led all National League rookies in home runs with 16.
You can't expect those two to carry the load every day. Boy, they were responsible for a lot of the offense for the Brewers. That has to change this year.
Had a good cut, and Braun hangs tough. Ryan reached on an error his last time up. A rare error by the shortstop, Troy Tulowitzki. He's been bothered by tight hamstrings throughout the spring. Still not running 100%, but even Braun's less than 100%, still pretty fast. Got it.
That breaking ball from Jimenez took a little bit off, 81 miles an hour. Everything hard that entire at bat to Ryan Braun. He pulls a string and clearly down and away. The thing about that Fox track is that is automatically adjusted to the batter that's up there at that particular time, so it's not the same strike zone for everybody that bats. So it is very accurate.
Big strikeout for Jimenez. And now Fielder gets a chance with 2 on. The Rockies have turned 2 double plays already. The traditional 6-3 double play in the first. As Fielder is late on the fastball, it's into the seats. Week started the inning with a walk. Gomez with a single. Prince tied for the major league lead at RBIs a year ago with Ryan Howard, 141 driven in. Hit .299 a season ago with 46 home runs. Breaks his bat. He's got to get down the line. A chance for 2 here, and a nice slide by Gomez takes Tulowitzki right out of the play, and the inning is extended.
Yeah, that's a big time play right there. That was going to be a double play. Prince always busting it down the line hard, but Gomez gets there so quickly. Tulowitzki, I think, was surprised as to how quickly he got there. Didn't get out of the way enough. And check it out. Tulowitzki really didn't clear himself quickly enough, and Gomez able to get a piece of him. Key is Gomez with that slide still able to touch second base.
So Gomez's hustle keeps the inning alive for Jim Edmonds. Brewers had runners at first and second with nobody out, but Jimenez has gone through Braun and Fielder, and now Edmonds looking for a 2-out run producing hit.
Yeah, those shadows getting to a point where they're going to be a problem. Particularly when you got a guy like Jimenez out there throwing near 100 miles an hour, makes it tough.
Jimenez struck out Edmonds in the first inning. That ended the first inning. Same scenario, runners at first and third. Count goes to 1-2.
Man, that pitch has a lot of movement on it. It really does. Now Jim Edmonds asking, where'd that go? And it looked like it was outer half. With that late movement that Jimenez can put on that baseball, it was about a foot outside.
Jimenez with 2 strikeouts. And the 1-2, and Edmonds lays off. Good take. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Jim Edmonds, making his first start in right field since 1994. Played a little bit of right field in 93 and 94 with the Angels, and then became one of the great center fielders in all of baseball. Just missed. 3-2 the count.
Yeah, remember Chad Curtis?
Chad Curtis.
That's the guy that played center field that pushed Edmonds over to right. Just a little bit off the inside corner, not by much.
Umpires are right most of the time. Oh, big spot early. Jimenez now at 50 pitches through the first 3 innings. And he and Iannetta not connecting.
Maybe trying to be too fine. Iannetta going out there saying, hey, you're throwing almost 100 miles an hour. Why are you trying to be too fine? You don't have to throw that pitch on the corners. Throw a strike here.
Fielder takes off. Edmonds strikes out. And Jimenez is out of another jam, stranding 2 more runners. The Brewers have left 5 on through the first 3 innings.
Caught up through 3 innings. Giovanni Gallardo gets the start on opening day. He has 3 punch-outs so far, but it was the home run swing by Ian Stewart who put the Rockies up 2-0. And Robaldo Jimenez, he has 3 strikeouts as well as Yo gets ready for the 4th inning, guys.
All right, Telly, thanks. Jimenez with 2 big strikeouts of Jim Edmonds with a couple of runners on base, once in the first, once in the third. And the Brewers have yet to scratch a run against the big right-hander. 4th inning for Gallardo. Todd Helton leads off. He'll be followed by Tulowitzki and then Brad Hawk. Helton last time up. Rolled out back to Gallardo. Got into the 1st inning.
Yeah, pitch count right now in pretty good shape for Yo. 49 pitches. Not too shabby. You would figure anywhere between 85 and 100 pitches for Gallardo, depending on how effective he is.
Count evens on Helton. Gallardo, his first opening day start. 24 years of age. Ben Sheets was 22 when he started on opening day in 02. But one of the youngest opening day starters. McGee, it's got time here. And Helton's going to beat it out. So Casey, that ball actually hit the lip on the way down. Helton reaches. We'll see how they score it.
A big time jam shot from Todd Helton. Yo did a nice job getting in on his fists. Kind of fought it off, had a funny spin on it, and it kind of fooled Casey a bit. That'll be an E5.
Another error. That's the 4th error of the game. Each club with 2. Zahn and McGee with the errors.
It's one of those that, when it's hit right at, you don't know how hard it's hit. But Casey, if he came in a couple of steps, might have been able to get it on the fly.
Now Tulowitzki with a man on. That one's lined into center field. Gomez. And it's got a strong arm. Boy, if that's on the mark, they've got a double play.
He's got a cannon out there, doesn't he?
He and B.J. Upton, probably the best center field arms in all of baseball.
Yeah, he surprises you. You talked about a max effort every time. I mean, that throw, as you mentioned, if that's anywhere close to first, that might be a double play. Yeah, line drive. It looked like maybe a knuckleball, but a little basket catch and check out the arm by Gomez. A little bit offline.
So 1 out, and here's Haup. He bounced one out last time up into deep right center. And Haup scored the first run. Actually, Haup scored from second base on a wild pitch. Full season last year for Gallardo after knee surgery. Knocked him out for most of the season in 08. He hurt his knee in May of 2008 and missed the rest of that season. But last year he made 30 starts. Struck out over 200 in only 185 plus innings. It was the only pitcher in the major leagues to do that last year. Have more than 200 Ks and fewer than 200 innings.
Yep, top 5 in strikeouts in the National League and top 5 in opponent batting average. The one thing that he would like to improve upon is his walk totals, 94 from a year ago.
Well, Gallardo, because he is the number 1 on this ball club, he's going to face the opponent's number 1 a great deal this year. He's got Jimenez today to match up against. His next start will be Saturday against the Cardinals. Chris Carpenter will work in that game for St. Louis, and that's kind of going to be the trend this year for Yovani Gallardo.
Well, at least early on in the season, that stuff seems to go away a bit as the season goes on. But the first month or so, that's the way it's going to be. Not a lot of margin for error when you're facing the opposition's number 1 pitcher, particularly a Chris Carpenter.
Brad Haup draws the walk. 2 on for the Rockies with 1 away. And that leads us to our AT&T trivia question. Who had the first hit in Milwaukee Brewers history? Celebrating the 40th year of Major League Baseball in Milwaukee. Seattle Pilots were headed north. Took a right turn at Albuquerque in 1970 and headed to Milwaukee. And baseball began again in Milwaukee. It's the 13th year for the Brewers in the National League. Looking forward to celebrating the 40th anniversary throughout the season. Chris Iannetta, the batter for Colorado. And the Brewers in need of a double play here. Iannetta popped one up in foul territory his last time up. Gallardo got him on a good curveball.
Giovanni needs a ground ball in the worst way. Chris Iannetta, the catcher, doesn't run all that well. You get a two-hopper to somebody in the infield. Get out of this mess.
First trip to the mound of the year for Rick Peterson. And his signature move, he always puts his right hand on the shoulder.
Hey, fans, on Sunday, the Brewers take on the St. Louis Cardinals at 7:10 p.m. Be there as all fans through the gate get a collectible Bernie Brewer bobblehead. Sunday night baseball here at Miller Park. St. Louis Cardinals in town.
Cardinals being on Friday, 3-game series with St. Louis. The Cardinals are leading Cincinnati today, 6-2. That game's in the 7th inning. Albert Pujols has hit 2 home runs today, so he's back at it. Chris Carpenter out of the game after 6 innings. Now we saw Rick Peterson there, Rock, and already kind of making his impact with his Brewers pitching staff. He's not a guy who has come in and made a lot of changes, at least on the surface, but some subtle mechanical adjustments with a few guys, especially Giovanni Gallardo.
Yeah, there were 35 pitchers on the first day of spring training, and a large majority of them, under the watchful eye of Rick Peterson, made some type of an adjustment. And it might not be visible by the naked eye, but some adjustments to be a little bit more consistent in the strike zone. Giovanni's delivery much different. We heard Jerry Augustine talking about that on Brewers Live today. A little bit of a bounce in the windup, right at the belt.
Keeps that glove connected to the leg. As the leg goes up, so does the glove. And that's ball 4. Boy, Gallardo scuffling here in the 4th. Back-to-back walks. And now Ian Stewart will bat. A dangerous power bat here in the 4th inning.
Pitch count pretty manageable up until this inning. Started out about 48 pitches to start this inning. Now he's up to 62. And there's only 1 out. Now you figure about 90 pitches for Yo today, I would think. 90, 100, depending on how productive he's being out there.
Well, every game has a moment of truth. This might be that moment in this game here in the 4th inning. Bases loaded, 1 out. Stewart hit a long home run his last time up. Pounded one high off the scoreboard in center field.
3-0 fastball.
Gallardo and Jimenez, 2 of the top 3 pitches per game last year. Problem, at least in the second half for Gallardo, those 100 pitches would surface in the 5th and 6th inning. Same goes for Jimenez. They'd like to get that pitch count extended to the 7th or 8th. Got jammed a little bit. Gomez will make the catch. Tagging at third is Helton. The throw comes into third base, and the Rockies have their 3rd run. Sacrifice fly and an RBI for Ian Stewart. His 2nd RBI of the game. And it's Colorado 3-0.
This time an 0-1 fastball. Yo tried to get it in on his hands, didn't do it. And Stewart able to hit it hard into left center field. Now the Rockies doing the right things with men in scoring position. A little small ball by Colorado getting the sac fly. A run without the benefit of a base hit.
Well, a leadoff error by McGee. And then back-to-back walks to Hopp and Iannetta. But Giovanni with 2 outs. And the Rockies' 8th hitter, Clint Barmes, at the plate. Barmes has good power. Got more power down in the 8th spot of the batting order than most National League clubs. Barmes had a career high 23 home runs last year. Set a career high for runs batted in as well. He drove in 76 from the bottom of the batting order.
Yeah, that's pretty good run production. Up the middle, that's for sure.
Over to McGee, and he'll go to 2nd, and that's the inning. So the Rockies get a run on an error. We'll hear from the skipper, Ken Maka, when we come back. It's 3-0 Colorado. opening day here in Milwaukee. The Rockies lead at 3-0. And joining us in the Brewers dugout is manager Ken Maka. Ken, thanks for being a part of this broadcast. First of all, we are excited to hear what you have to say. But just give us your thoughts about opening day and your club this year.
Well, opening day is always a lot of hype, so I'm always glad when that's over with. But you know what? We played very well in spring training fundamentally. Come here today, we got a couple errors. I got a couple walks. Actually, they score a run on a wild pitch, and then they score one without getting a hit last inning. So that's not the way we played in spring training, and you can't afford to do that against a team with a pitcher like the guy they have out here right now.
Ken, seems like you have a lot of flexibility on that bench. Kind of a surprise coming to the ballpark today. Jim Edmonds in right. Tell us your thoughts on that move.
Well, we got him here to hit against the tough right-handed pitchers, and this guy's certainly that. So, he's had a couple tough at-bats up there with some guys on base, but, this game's got a long way to go. We've worked them pretty hard. Hopefully we'll get into their bullpen or get a couple runs off them this inning.
Haven't seen the running game like we saw it in spring training. A guy like Jimenez, you got to take advantage of opportunities like that, right? Well,
he's quick to the plate. We did try a double steal there in one inning with Bronny up there. They fouled the ball off, so we get on there. They give us an opportunity, we'll go ahead and run.
Ken, we'll let you get back to work. Thanks for your insights today.
All right.
Go Brewers. That's skipper Ken Maka. And he says, go Brewers.
I like that. Cheerleader in the dugout. Why not, right?
That's great.
Good move.
McGee rolls one out to Tulowitzki. Has one of the best arms in the game, and he takes care of Casey for the first out. That's good to get that perspective, and I know as a manager, you have to keep it in perspective that it's 1 of 162, but he makes a good point. The Brewers played very well this spring. They were good fundamentally. They executed defensively. I think he feels like the team's going to be better defensively than it was a year ago, and maybe not seeing that here in the first few innings. Nice play by Helton. And 2 quick outs for Ubaldo Jimenez.
Yeah, when you have good defense, your pitching staff automatically is going to be better. You're going to have less outs to get. You don't make errors. A lot more clean innings, and it is important. I think you've got a lot more coverage on the field with Escobar and Ricky up the middle. You got Gomez in center field. Those guys, have a way of filling in holes that appear to be in the infield and the outfield. So automatically, when you have defense like that, your pitching is going to be better.
Two quick outs for Jimenez. And now it's Escobar. Key inning for the Brewers to try to extend his pitch count a little bit. You heard Maka say they've worked him well at this point. You don't want to give away a quick inning to this right-hander. Escobar will do all he can to make sure Gallardo gets a chance at the plate this inning.
And it kills Escobar to have to take fastballs, doesn't it? You're kidding me? I got to take a fastball?
Definitely prescribes to the you don't walk your way off the island theory. He is a free swinger.
And the funny thing about it is, he does swing the bat a lot and makes contact a lot. He doesn't strike out much. At least he hasn't to this point. Talking about spring training and what we saw from him last year.
Escobar reached on an error his last time up.
See ball, hit ball. That's Escobar. He's not going up there looking for much. He wants to get a good pitch to hit and takes a healthy hack.
I think what the Brewers like about Escobar on the offensive side, Dale Swaim likes the fact that he'll go the other way. He's got an inside-out swing. He's not going to flash a lot of power, but he's got the kind of swing that could turn into a power swing down the road.
And not yet. He might not hit for a lot of power yet, but he's going to grow into that 6'1", 6'2" frame. He's bigger than most people think. He's taller than a lot of people think. That breaking ball, watch Escobar double clutch, still able to get the bat on it. Fox Tracks have it right on the inside corner.
Stays alive. Now, there was a decision for Ken Maka to make who was going to hit second and who was going to hit eighth. And it was between Escobar and Gomez. Each brings a different kind of skill set, but he likes the fact that Escobar can foul off a number of pitches. Now, Gomez, you talk about a guy who's ready to jump on a pitcher quickly.
Yeah.
Gomez is a notorious first ball swinger.
Now that, you get Escobar down in the batting order, take a little pressure off of him.
Lines that one, and it's caught by Stewart. Good at bat by Escobar. A battle ends in and out, and a 3-up, 3-down inning for Ubaldo Jimenez. 3-0 Rockies. We are on our way to the fifth.
Top of the fifth, time to check in with the crew and the community. Brewers fans, this season you have a chance to be a part of the Brewers Community Foundation. At every home game this season, the foundation will stage a 50-50 raffle. Raffle tickets will be sold by foundation team members to fans throughout Miller Park for $2. 50% of the net revenue will be awarded to a lucky fan each game, with the remaining proceeds going to the foundation. Similar efforts have raised hundreds of thousands of dollars in other Major League Baseball pilot programs. Guys?
All right, Telly, thanks. We head to the fifth inning from Miller Park. Opening day in Milwaukee. Ubaldo Jimenez leads off for the Rockies. And an easy out for Fielder to get us started. 3-0 Colorado. A couple of runs came in the second inning, one on a wild pitch. Hawk scored from second base on a wild pitch from Gallardo. Ian Stewart hit a long home run to center field. And the Rockies scoring last inning, Rock, without the benefit of a hit. It was an error and 2 walks, and a sacrifice fly by Stewart brought home run number 3.
That little shades of wildness from Gallardo is only 2 walks of the ball game. Yeah, control got away from him just a little bit. Of course, anytime you start an inning with an error, you let somebody on via the air, you know you're going to have a tough time. Extra outs, they kill you.
Back to the top of the order. Third time through the batting order for Colorado. It's Carlos Gonzalez. He reached on an infield hit to start the season in the first inning and then rolled into a 4-6-3 double play. He's 1 for 2. Gonzalez on an opening day roster for the first time. He was part of that Matt Holliday deal in the winter of 08, between the 08 and 09 season. Rockies sent Holliday when they could not come to terms on a long-term deal. Sent Holliday to Oakland, and one of the players in return was Gonzalez. Gonzalez with his second hit. Well, this guy had a huge postseason a year ago. 10 hits in the 4-game series against the Phillies. Well, our AT&T trivia today, who had the first hit in Milwaukee Brewers history. And it was Steve Hovley back in 1970. The Pilots turned into the Brewers in the American League, and it was a blowout win, or blowout loss for the Brewers, a blowout win for the Angels. And Bud Selig said it was the only game that he remembers as an owner that he did not care about the score. It was the only time.
Just the fact that there was baseball in Milwaukee. That's all he wanted, right? But
That's
then
all
there
that
was the
mattered.
next day. Then he worried about wins and losses.
Yes. From every game at that point, wins and losses came into the picture.
I can still see Bud back in County Stadium, pacing up and down that little loge level they had. Biggest fan the Brewers have ever had.
Gallardo was given up 4 hits. Gonzalez has 2 of them. Always a threat to run at first base. Back in the first inning, Gonzalez attempted to steal, and Zahn threw him out.
And it takes a pretty good throw to get Gonzalez stealing. He can run, and it was perfect.
Two balls and a strike on Seth Smith.
There's a pretty good running count here, 2-1. If you're the offense, you figure Yo wants to throw a strike. Runner takes off from first, and if it's a good one, the hitter can protect him. Normally a fastball count.
He stays put. Smith fouls it away. That evens the count at 2-2. Well, let's take you back to 1970. The starting lineup, it was Hovley who had the first hit as a Milwaukee Brewer, but the Angels won the game 12-0. Funny part about it is Hovley, who started in right field, he batted 5th in that lineup. He was traded in June to Oakland for Al Downing and Tito Francona later that year. So he made such an impact in Brewers history that he was traded just a few months later. Gallardo picks up a strikeout on Smith.
Good pitch by Yo. That curveball had good bite to it that time. He put it in a good location. And Smith way out in front. 78 miles an hour. Down and away, just catching the strike zone. It's where it crosses the front of home plate. That's where Fox Tracks picks up the location of those pitches, not where the catcher catches it.
That's the 3rd time Gallardo has struck out Seth Smith. 3 of his 4 for the ballgame. 4 strikeouts, 2 walks, 3 runs are in. And now Gallardo to face Helton with 2 away. Helton reached on an error his last time up. He scored the 3rd Rockies run. Into right. Edmonds plays it on a hop. A sinking line drive from Helton. And the Rockies have their 2nd hit of the inning. And now Gallardo has to deal with Tulowitzki with 2 outs.
Man, be careful first pitch. This guy likes to go after the first pitch of an at-bat. Matter of fact, he hit a hard line drive to center on the first pitch his last time up. Now curveball up in the zone, and Todd Helton didn't get it on the screws, but he got enough of it to get it in front of Edmonds and right. That guy's a hitter. You look at him and you say he's a baseball player. He can hit and plays exceptional defense.
Well, among active players, only Pujols and Ichiro with a higher batting average over his career than Todd Helton. Well, the Rockies continue to put the pressure on Gallardo. Pitch count that will be at 80 with his next offering. Multiple runners on base in 3 of the 5 innings. And a base hit. Gomez has a good arm. They're going to send the runner. Gonzalez will score easily. A 2-out RBI hit for Tulowitzki, and it's 4-0 Colorado.
Tulowitzki, a throwback type player. A lot of guys taking that situation. You see hitters go up there, even when the count's in their favor, they'll take a strike. Tulowitzki, he's looking for a fastball. He got one that he liked up and away. Got it toward the end of the bat and hit a line drive in the center to drive in a run. So back-to-back 2-out singles. Helton Tulowitzki played another run.
Tulowitzki's 1 for 3. 4 runs on 6 hits now for Colorado. Still 2 out, and here's Hawp.
Now, I understand how you work the count. You take pitches, you get the count in your favor, but once you have the count in your favor, why wait? It's 1-0, it's 2-0, 3-1. Guys still take. Never understood that.
Big difference between being aggressive and being aggressive in the strike zone.
Yeah, right.
He gets his pitch. He swings away.
Go after it, baby. Your good hitters will do that. But maybe that's why they're good hitters. They go after pitches when they have the count in their favor. They worked hard to get the count in their favor. Take advantage of it.
Hawp has the count in his favor. He swings away. And this will end the inning. But the Rockies tack another one on. Brewers are climbing a big hill right now, down 4-0 against Jimenez.
Hey, one of my favorite things throughout our broadcast is time for today's Time of the Game winner. It's Mount Glass in New Holstein, Wisconsin. If they call the Brewers in the next 24 hours, I was going to say by 8 o'clock tomorrow, but that's not the case. 414-902-4572. They get 40 tickets in the Miller Lite Beer Pen for a 2010 Brewers home game. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
It's up there near Kiel, right?
Right.
Up 57. Nice.
Well done.
Did a little traveling this winter.
You getting in the car, exploring?
Drove around, did some exploring,
Good man.
4-0 Rockies. Gallardo will lead off this bottom of the 5th. By the way, a game we're keeping an eye on. Sean Markham of the Toronto Blue Jays has a no-hitter through 6 innings. Always a little opening day drama on occasion as Gallardo strikes out, and that's the 4th strikeout for Jimenez.
At every non-marquee home game, fans can purchase a $10 ticket in the Club Goodwill bleacher section at the ticket windows in left field. Goodwill offering value in our stores, ballpark, and community. Yeah, he's doing that against a pretty good hitting Texas Rangers club.
That game's in Arlington. And they are in the bottom of the 7th inning. The Rangers are batting, and Markham has a no-hitter. He only threw 68 pitches through the first 6 innings. Talk about efficiency now. Back to the top of the order, Ricky Weeks. He's been on twice against Jimenez. An infield hit in the first, he walked in the third. Brewers need something against this big right-hander. They've had some opportunities. Matter of fact, the 3-up, 3-down fourth for Jimenez, the first of the game. The Brewers stranded 2 in the first, left 1 man on in the second, stranded a pair in the third.
Jimenez doing a nice job keeping the ball in the infield. A lot of ground ball outs. 4 strikeouts to go along with all those ground ball outs. I have 1 fly ball out. That was that Escobar line drive to third base.
Jimenez strikes out Weeks. Back-to-back punch-outs for Jimenez to start this 5th inning.
He continues to pour in the strikes. He's only allowed the 1 walk and 5 strikeouts right on the inside corner. Gets that natural movement with the grip on that fastball. And 2 fingers, the middle finger, index finger close and running along the seams. That's how you get that good down and in action to right-handed hitters.
98-mile-an-hour fastball from Jimenez. Starting to get the Brewers in lockdown mode.
You would think at that distance and at that speed it wouldn't have time to move much, but it does.
Gomez with a base hit. Yeah, so Carlos Gomez with 2 singles today off Jimenez. It's actually a good matchup for Gomez. He can hit velocity.
Did him a favor that time. He threw him a slider, ended up right down the middle of the plate. He has speed up the bats. Jimenez has been throwing fastballs by Brewer hitters just about all day. Hangs a slider, and Gomez is a base runner with 2 outs.
And that gets Ryan Braun to the plate. Jimenez will keep a close eye on Gomez. In the postseason a year ago, Jimenez pitched twice against Philadelphia. And although Jimenez does have the slide step, his typical motion to the plate is a little longer than most. It takes a little more time, and you can run on it. I was talking to Ed Cedar earlier today, who handles the Brewers base running. He said he'd like to get Jimenez into a position where he feels he needs to slide step. That's when he usually gets hurt at the plate.
Yeah, rushes his delivery. That's always the age-old question, right? Do you worry more about being quick to the plate, holding base runners, or do you worry more about making quality pitches to the hitter? Some guys don't worry about base runners. Greg Maddux never worried about it.
Well, a 4-0 Rockies lead changes the running game a bit. Gomez started, then stopped, and Braun takes one up and in. Looked like he wanted to run right there.
Well, missed by the entire width of the plate and more. Got to be careful running in this situation with Braun at the plate. You're already in scoring position at first. Don't get thrown out.
1-2 to Braun. Ryan had a solid spring. He said he accomplished what he wanted to. He stayed healthy. That was the most important thing. Battled a bit of a issue with his lower back, some tightness and some hamstring issues, but he came back from both. 1 ball, 2 strikes with Gomez at first. And a long look from Jimenez.
Yeah, he's freezing him. Still not convinced that Gomez is going to stay at first.
Jimenez going through 4 signs from Iannetta. Gomez takes off. That pitch in the dirt gets away. Gomez can't find the baseball, and he'll stay at second base. That was a good job by Clint Barmes. He acted as if he was taking a throw and then acted as if he was putting a tag on Gomez. Carlos had no idea that the ball was loose behind home plate.
Yeah, that's one of the problems when you slide head first. You really don't have much of an opportunity to check out where the baseball is. You know, down by 4 runs and Ryan Braun at the plate, I don't think he'd want to take a chance and get into third base anyway.
Count is even for Braun. Fielder would be next. Braun trying to get him here in the 2 outs. Gomez takes off. Braun launches one. Left field line. Does it have enough? This one is off the wall. A fair ball. Braun stopped running, but ends up at second with a double. He thought it was gone. It's an RBI double for Ryan Braun. The Brewers are finally on the board here in the 6th inning.
That didn't miss by much, I'll tell you. Right down the line. It looked like Brawny got it down in the trademark just a bit. He thought he got enough of it. Look how far inside that pitch is. Brawny able to keep the hands in, pops the hips open, keeps it fair. And just at the top of the wall, right down the line in left, I think it hit the yellow line. And a 2-out double.
Now Ryan saw the umpire and then had to hustle to second base. It's an RBI double. The Brewers with their first run, and now Fielder is up there with 2 outs. Down the line, foul. Just missed the bag.
Did you see what that pitch was that Brawny hit? I mean, that wasn't even a strike. That was about 3-4 inches off the inside corner at about mid-90s with a fastball, and he's still able to get enough of it and knock it off the wall. He's strong. And remember, Ryan uses that big, long bat. It takes a lot longer for that bat head with that big, long 35-inch bat to get to the baseball at that velocity. Good piece of hitting.
And able to keep it fair is the most impressive feat. Not that he just puts a bat on it. You know, a lot of hitters will hook over that pitch and pull it into the seats. Braun able to keep it fair, and he drives in his first run of the season.
97 miles an hour on the knuckles, and he turns it around.
Took something off, and Fielder out in front, 0-2.
A rare changeup that time by Jimenez. All right, good downward movement.
Got him. Jimenez strikes out Prince Fielder. Jimenez strikes out the side. But the Brewers finally on the board in the 5th inning. 4-1 Rockies. We head to the 6th. is presented by the Wisconsin Lottery and its family of instant scratch games. Odds are you'll like them. By Airtran. Go. There's nothing stopping you. And by GMC. We are professional grade. Miller Park, Milwaukee on opening day 2010. 4-1. Colorado leads it. We head to the 6th inning, and Gallardo is back on the mound. Brewers finally pushing one across against Ubaldo Jimenez on a double and an RBI from Ryan Braun. A couple of 2-out hits from Gomez and Braun, putting the Brewers on the board as Ionetta pops it up. Escobar wants it. First out of the inning. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Brewers and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent of the Brewers. Great to have you with us, celebrating the 40th anniversary of baseball in Milwaukee the second time around. The Brewers opening week here, 2010. It'll be a 6-game, 7-day homestand. The Cardinals come in next. They'll be here Friday night. 3-game series with the Rockies to start the season. Well, Rock, remember I told you about the no-hitter, Sean Markham?
Yeah.
Took it into the 7th inning. It was quickly erased. Vladimir Guerrero got the first hit. The next man up, Nelson Cruz, a 3-run home run to tie the game.
Nelson Cruz with a tremendous season last year for Texas. Off to a good start in 2010.
Little opening day drama to follow as Sean Markham goes 6 no-hit innings.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough team to no-hit. They can swing the bats.
Rangers are coming to Miller Park this year. The Brewers' interleague schedule, aside from the home-and-home against the Twins, is through the American League West. You got the Rangers and the Mariners coming to Miller Park this year. The Brewers will go to Los Angeles. The Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. It'll be a tough road series.
That is a tough interleague schedule.
Shattered bat. Easy play for Weeks. And Gallardo has 2 up and 2 down in the 6th inning. Now Giovanni could use a quick inning. Pitch count at 90. And ideally, Ken Maka would like to be able to pinch hit for Gallardo his next time up. And ideally in the next inning, got Edmonds leading off. A couple of base runners in Gallardo's spot in the batting order would be due up. Clint Barmes is 0 for 2 against Gallardo. Giovanni has 4 strikeouts, surrendered 2 walks, and 4 runs on 6 hits.
Yeah, that last pitch, a changeup, and that's really been a pitch that's been a problem for Gallardo all day. Hasn't been able to throw that consistently for a strike, and that's one of his big, strike throwing pitches. At least it was in spring training.
To McGee, and that's the inning. So the best inning for Gallardo of the day might be his last. Brewers are coming up down 3. by Cousins subs. Ubaldo Jimenez coming as advertised today. Through 5 innings, he has 6 punch-outs. Long home run to center field by Ian Stewart. That was in the 2nd inning. The Brewers finally pushed one across when Braun doubled off the wall. Almost hit one out. Missed him by a few feet. He doubled in Gomez. And it's 4-1 in favor of the Colorado Rockies. Jimenez with 6 strikeouts to go along with just 1 walk. He's pitched around 2 Rockies errors. Stewart has 2 of the 4 runs batted in for Colorado. And Ryan Braun drives in the first run for the Brewers of the 2010 campaign. Opening week in Milwaukee. Jim Edmonds ready to lead off. Jimenez pitch count at 86. So likely to be his last inning as well. Edmonds got the call to start in right field. His first start in right since '94. Won 8 Gold Gloves as a center fielder. Chris Narveson gets loose.
Well, Jimenez just continues to pour in the strikes. It's been amazing.
He struck out Edmonds twice. And on both occasions, the Brewers had runners at first and third with 2 outs. Edmonds has left 4 on. Gallardo appears done for the day. Jimenez struck out the side last inning. But the Brewers did come up with back-to-back 2-out hits, including the Braun double that scored Gomez.
Still throwing hard, 97. Pitch before that, 98.
Edmonds with a base hit. Turned it around, and Jim Edmonds has his first hit as a Brewer. Leadoff single for the Crew.
Well, Jimenez tried to come up and in on him, and Edmonds able to turn it around. Got done in the count 0-2 quickly. Check it out. They're trying to come inside. Watch where it ends up, out over the plate. And Edmonds takes advantage of it with a line drive into right field. Still has some quick hands, turning around a 97-mile-an-hour fastball.
That's really what impressed Ken Maka and made him realize Edmonds could help this club. The fact that he can hit the fastball. Corey Hart will no doubt get his turn in right. Maka wanted to make sure he had at least one right-handed hitter on the bench. The Rockies have a left-handed closer in Franklin Morales. As McGee turns one around, that's going to fall for a base hit. Smith didn't see it off the bat very well. And Casey McGee with his second hit of the ball game.
Left field's got to be tough right now. I mean, looking right into the sun. Those glass panels in the grandstands above the first base dugout. I think Smith had a tough time picking that ball up off the bat. Wasn't hit all that hard off the end of the bat. And the Brewers have something going.
McGee with 2 hits today against Jimenez. Both singles.
Yeah, Brewers about hit the Rockies.
8-6 on the hit board for Milwaukee. And now hoping to cash in. This is the 2nd inning in this game where they've had the first 2 aboard. They did it in the 3rd with Braun and Fielder coming up. Jimenez was able to get through the inning without allowing a run. That was that 3rd inning, his highest pitch count inning of the day. Greg Zahn with 2 on. Escobar is next, and then the pitcher spot. And with Narveson continuing to loosen in the bullpen, the Brewers will have some options on their bench. Zahn rolled into a double play in the 2nd inning, and then he grounded out his last time up.
Man, got to make sure you get a pitch up in the strike zone. You don't want a ground ball here.
Good take. 2 balls, no strikes on Greg Zahn. Matt Daly is the right-hander. And the lefty who just stopped throwing is Randy Flores. Zahn, a switch hitter, better from the left side throughout his career. A lazy pop-up. Gonzalez makes a call, and that's the first out of the inning. And the Brewers unable to advance the runners.
And one of those tailing fastballs going away from Zahn. Looked like Zahn thought he had a pitch to pull. That late movement got that baseball on the end of the bat. Check it out. I mean, that movement has been pretty good all day. Ends up off the outside corner.
What gives you an idea, huh? I mean, he's looking to pull a pitch that is that far off the plate.
Started out right down the middle, looked like.
You think about power sinkers, guys like Jake Peavy, remember Kevin Brown? That's not a Jimenez. Straight over the top, he's able to get the sinking action. Gallardo most likely only as a decoy in that on-deck circle. Craig Counsell is ready in the wings.
Now it'll be just a matter of who Ken Maka wants to throw up there. Just send Yo out there. You hate to think about a double play. But if they stick with Jimenez, you got to figure Counsell is going to be the guy coming off the bench.
Two on with one away. Escobar takes low and is ahead of the count. 2 balls, no strikes. Jimenez now at 98 pitches for the game. So he's getting into the red zone for Jim Tracy as well. Escobar lines one to left, and Smith's going to make the catch. Jim Edmonds will be doubled off. The inning is over. Escobar hit it like a shot. Double play that ends the inning. Big opportunity lost for the Crew. Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is presented by the Miller Lite aluminum pint. 4 more ounces of that great Pilsner taste. And by Toyota. Thank you for standing by us. For more information, visit buyatoyota.com. Oh, Miller Lite, what's on tap? The Brewers and the Rockies back at it tomorrow. We're on WMLW starting at 7 o'clock in the Central Time Zone. Then a day game Wednesday. The Cardinals come to town Friday, a 3-game series with the division rival. Well, Gallardo, a very good inning, his best inning in the 6th. And because of the double play, Gallardo will be asked to give Maka one more. They have sat Narveson down. And it's Giovanni to work the 7th inning. Dexter Fowler leads off. He's pinch hitting for Ubaldo Jimenez.
Well, Ken Maka is hoping that Giovanni's going to be able to get through this inning. They don't want to bring Narveson in and then quickly take him out for a pinch hitter.
Well, a base running blunder by Jim Edmonds.
And nowhere to go on a play like that. You know, down by 3 runs. Station to station.
Counsell was ready to hit. Would have been 2 on with 2 out. Edmonds wanting to get a good jump. And based on the line drive that Casey McGee hit, he knows how tough it is to play left field. I thought, or he probably thought it was going to drop. He's been nursing a sore hamstring. That might have had something to do with it and wanting to get a head start. But, boy, you can't get doubled off in a spot like that. Full count to Fowler. And Gallardo strikes him out. That's number 5 for Giovanni Gallardo.
There's only one bout of wildness for Gallardo. That was the 4th with 1 out and a man at first. Back-to-back walks cost him a run. But other than that, it's been nothing but strikes all day.
Five strikeouts, 2 walks for Gallardo. Top of the order now, it's Carlos Gonzalez, who has 2 hits against Giovanni. The Brewers will have a pinch hitter to start the 7th and into the top of the order. Gallardo's pitch count is over 100. That's going to be another hit. 3rd hit of the game for Carlos Gonzalez.
Picking up right where he left off in the postseason. The winter did not cool this guy down, did it? Now beats it into the ground over the head of Yo and into center field. So good speed at first again.
10 hits in that 4-game series in the postseason. Gonzalez put himself on the map last year when it counted and hit for power in the postseason as well.
Postseason will do that for you, won't it?
So a very fast runner at first base. Gallardo to face Seth Smith. Gallardo has punched out Smith 3 times in this game. The Rockies basically have 5 outfielders that will play at any point. Jim Tracy has to make sure that he gets playing time for guys like Seth Smith, Ryan Spilborghs. But it's not a scenario where you have your 3 starters and then your 2 backup guys. It's kind of a revolving door with 5 outfielders, Smith being one of them, and he got the start on opening day because of the right-hander on the mound in Gallardo.
The left-handers out in the outfield right now. Fowler was switch hitter, and then you have Spilborghs as a right-handed hitter. They'll get their playing time.
And many feel the Rockies have the best bench because of that in the National League. A versatile bench, guys who get a lot of playing time.
Veterans over there. Melvin Moore, a right-handed hitter. He's been around a long time. And Jason Giambi made the roster.
Todd Coffey joins Chris Narveson. Got a lefty on deck in Helton. Smith able to lay off that curveball. And it's a ball and 2 strikes. You go down Tracy's batting order. A couple of lefties, or 3 straight lefties at the top of the order, but then it's left, right the rest of the way through. Tulowitzki would follow Helton.
Sometimes you're not seeing the ball all that well. You swing at just about anything and still able to get a piece of it. That's not easy to do.
I'm swinging. No matter what.
Sometimes you decide to swing before he lets it go.
Yep. Well, he struck out 3 times, all swinging strikes. Keep an eye on Gonzalez. There's a bouncer. Chance for 2. Weeks to Escobar. A poor feed, but Escobar makes the play. Fielder digs it out on the other end. That was not a good toss from Ricky Weeks, but Escobar made it happen thanks to a nice pickup by Fielder. And Gallardo is through 7.
Here with Weeks and Escobar, fine play to end the 7th.
Boy, it was outstanding play. They've made several good plays in this ball game, but right there, good play by Ricky, good toss. How about the leap right here to avoid the runner and still make a strong throw? You know, those two guys are still working together because they really, you know, Ricky missed the last half of the season and Escobar hadn't really worked with him. They've worked hard, and I tell you what, they're clicking right now.
Yeah, they each got some time off the first couple of weeks of spring training, but now they're starting to put some things together here. Game 1. Now the Brewers just need to rally and get some runs going. And coming up on our Brewers Live postgame report, 1 hour postgame on the way here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Lots to talk about. We'll hear from the manager, the players as well inside the locker rooms, and our instructional intro to some drills and skills you'll be seeing all season long. Brian?
All right, Craig, Davey, thanks a lot. We head to the home 7th, and Craig Counsell will pinch hit for Gallardo. Matt Belisle, the new pitcher. Rockies have made a couple of changes in their outfield positioning as well. Gonzalez moves from center to left field, and Dexter Fowler will stay in the game and play center. He pinch hit last inning. So Counsell will end Gallardo's day. Giovanni goes 7 innings, 4 runs, 3 earned for Gallardo today. A couple of walks and 5 strikeouts. Brewers find themselves down 3 runs as we hit the later innings. Some kind of play by Escobar to save that double play, and then Fielder on the other end to pick up the short hop.
Yeah, that was one of those. I think Ricky should have maybe, did a pivot move and made an overhand throw. That was one of those in-betweeners where, that shovel pass might not get it there quick enough. Threw the timing off for Escobar just a bit.
Tulowitzki. And Belisle has his first man out.
But those are the kind of things that take time when you have a double play combination that has not worked a whole lot together. And really didn't work that much together in spring training. I mean, their schedules were kind of off up until the end. Escobar got a lot of time off early in spring because he played a full Winter League schedule in Venezuela. It takes time, to get to know your double play partner.
One of the things Willie Randolph was telling us at the end of Cactus League play in Arizona, he'd like to see more opportunities before the opening of the season, but Weeks and Escobar have turned up a couple. Another bouncer to short. And 2 quick outs for Matt Belisle and the Rockies.
Well, it's been nothing but ground balls, hasn't it, for this Colorado pitching staff. Matt Belisle spent most of his career with the Reds, came over to the Rockies last year. And another sinker ball. It doesn't have near the velocity of Jimenez. Those are the kind of pitchers that are successful at Coors Field. Sinker ballers.
Yeah, they've kind of changed the philosophy in Colorado since the humidor came into play. They moisten up the baseballs. Balls don't travel like they used to in Colorado. Add a little humidity to the baseball itself.
Not as hard, easier to grip for pitchers. It's not the home run haven that it used to be.
While the Rockies still have their boppers, they are a ball club that is based around pitching and defense, and typically one of the better defensive teams in the National League. Unusual today, they've committed 2 errors.
Yep, until the last couple of years, Colorado was always in the bottom third in team earned run average. Last year they were middle of the pack. A lot of that had to do with the ballpark that they played in.
So Carlos Gomez in his Brewers debut is 2 for 3. Rolled into a double play in the first inning and a couple of singles after that. He scored the only Brewer run when Braun drove him in with a double with 2 outs in the 5th. Jimenez is in line for the win. 6 innings, just 1 earned run. Gomez down the left field line, fair or foul. This one is going to be a fair ball and a home run for Carlos Gomez.
Well, you only have one chance to make a first impression, right? It's a pretty good one for these Milwaukee fans. That'll get you on their side.
Going to have to update the Wendy's at the plate. Have a day, Carlos Gomez. 3 hits. His first home run of the season here in the 7th inning, and the first long ball for the Brewers this year.
I don't think too many people won the first home run of the year pool.
Ryan Braun drops a bunt down. It's a good one. That'll go as a base hit. Braun legs one out. Stewart knew he had to hurry. Even if he comes up with it cleanly, no chance he gets Ryan Braun.
What a smart play by Ryan Braun. You've got the third baseman with his heels on the grass, the outfield grass. He's not even in the picture right here. Watch how far he has to go. Not even a good bunt, but the fact that it's fair, and with Ryan's speed, it's a base hit, and now the tying run comes to the plate.
And it comes to the plate in the person of Prince Fielder.
That's one of the few times that you think about dropping down a bunt when you're Ryan Braun. This is it right here. Down by two outs, and Prince coming up.
And that means Jim Tracy will make the call to the bullpen. His lone lefty down there as far as setup goes is Randy Flores, and he's coming in to face Prince. We'll take a timeout. The Brewers bring the tying run to the plate when we come back. In 348 big league games coming into this season, he homers in his first game as a Brewer. And Rock, there was no doubt about the length on this one. The only question, fair or foul?
Yeah, a little bit of a bat flip. He knew he got all of it. The question is, as you mentioned, was it going to hook foul? A hanging breaking ball middle in, and Gomez turned on it. Look at a flip. I like it. He knew it. He had the distance. And brought the Brewers to within 2 runs.
It was a funny scene right after the home run. Gomez came into the dugout. Ken Maka put his arm around him. And you could almost read Maka's lips saying, hey, next time, make sure you drive that ball to the opposite field, all right?
Yeah.
That was a nice picture of you, partner.
Good as it can get.
What are you looking at there in your mask? Trying to figure out how much hair you've lost?
Yeah. No, that was then. This is now. Now I'm losing the hair.
All right, well, Gomez goes deep. Braun follows with a bunt single, and now Prince Fielder bats, representing the tying run. Randy Flores is in the game for the Rockies. Now here's the scene right here. Look at Maka. Okay, that's great. Next time I want to see you go the other way. Okay. Manager's always thinking, right?
Guarantee that's not what he said.
Fielder into left center. That's going to fall. A base hit. So Prince Fielder, who had good numbers against lefties last year, comes up with a base hit against Flores.
Yeah, 2009, Prince against lefties, a .292 batting average with 11 home runs. That's the biggest improvement other than defensively that Prince made from 08 to 09. His numbers against left-handed pitching. And pitch up and out over the plate, takes it to the opposite field. It's one thing about left-handed power hitters, I'll tell you, against left-handed pitchers, they give up a little bit of their willingness to, or trying to pull the baseball and hit it out of the ballpark. Prince able to center on it, get on top of it, and line it into left. But Prince certainly strong enough to hit home runs to left field.
Fielder has 2 hits today as does Braun. The Brewers have 11 hits right now. Bob Apodaca, the Rockies pitching coach. Quick chat with Flores. It's decision time here for Ken Maka. To keep Edmonds or go to the bench and Corey Hart. Ho Chunk Casino texts the broadcast booth. Who will hit more home runs this season, Prince or Ryan? That comes from Randy in Cedarburg. And you can get interactive with us this season. Text 234-234. Keyword Brewers. I'll go for Prince.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit early to burn your only right-handed bat on the bench.
Especially with a left-handed closer in Franklin Morales. So Edmonds stays, which means Flores stays. And Flores sends Edmonds to his seat.
Well, Flores basically fastball slider. That one right at his head. Able to get out of the way.
Teammates in St. Louis, Flores and Edmonds. Edmonds involved in a big play in the 6th inning. He was at second base with one out. A line drive by Escobar that was caught in left. Edmonds broke early and was doubled up to end the inning. Has a hit today. He's 1 for 3. Ball and 2 strikes on Edmonds.
Yeah, Brewers have hit into 3 double plays today. Talking about rally killers.
Casey McGee would love a shot here in the 7th inning. Braun and Fielder on base. Two and 2. Good take by Jim Edmonds.
This is ordinarily where Edmonds, with 2 strikes, will spread that stance out even a little bit and just throw the hands at the baseball, just trying whatever he can do to put the bat on the baseball. And with Ryan's speed, you figure a base hit's going to score a run.
Goes full. And you're starting to see why Flores went up and in with his first pitch. But the curveball, he could not throw for a strike. Full count, 2 outs. The runners will be on the move. Edmonds draws the walk.
Well, now you might see the right-hander coming out of that Colorado bullpen. Case McGee followed by the switch hitter Greg Zahn, and here comes Jim Tracy.
So Flores unable to get the lefties. Fielder and Edmonds both reach. And the Brewers force the hand of Jim Tracy. Back to the bullpen he goes. The right-hander is coming out. Casey McGee is coming up with the bases loaded.
1 year in the big leagues that, had some success. Just proving to myself that I wasn't, completely out of my mind thinking that I could do it at this level, and just carry that over to this year and build on that confidence and try to keep improving on it.
Casey McGee making his first opening day big league roster, and he'll get a chance in a big spot here in the 7th inning. Brewers doing all of this damage with 2 outs. Matt Daly is the new hurler. Doesn't have the overpowering fastball, but he's got an unusual delivery, as you can see, and a lot of strikeouts per innings pitched a year ago.
And very tough on right-handed hitters. Throws a lot of off-speed stuff. Fastball, slider, change, curveball. He'll throw the kitchen sink at you, and from a very unusual arm angle.
Bases loaded. Carlos Gomez with a 2-out solo home run. Then 2 hits and a walk since. And here comes McGee. Had that memorable grand slam last year, the inning after he dropped a pop-up here at Miller Park. Outfielders are very deep for Colorado. A base hit should tie it. And a strike from Daly.
And you see the way he stands closed on that pitching rubber. On the far first base side of the pitching rubber. Got both feet together. Front shoulder pointing toward third base. And hitters aren't used to seeing that.
Held right-handed batters last year to a .206 batting average. The 0-1. 0-2. Now McGee with 2 hits today. A couple of singles.
90 miles an hour when you can't really pick it up all that great. Seems a lot quicker to you.
Casey's in a tough spot. Just missed. He's only seen him once. Daly struck him out last year. Brewers are ready to run on the bases. Braun, Fielder, and Edmonds. McGee gets under one. And that's going to end the inning. Tulowitzki settles under it. Daly pitches out of a mess. The Brewers get a run. They strand 3. Still trail 4-2.
That's going to hang around the region for the next home game. That will bring us a shower, too. I don't think we're looking at a washout. You might even get a thunderstorm. That means best guess is they'll probably keep that roof closed. But it's still a mild first pitch, 57 degrees.
That's been a great day for weather here in Milwaukee. Roof has been open the entire day, and it's opening day for your lawn as well. Visit your local Lowe's on Saturday, April 10th. Scott's National Lawn Care Day, and learn tips from lawn care pros. It's fun to even be talking about green grass right now.
How's your grass looking?
Oh, it's looking nice.
You got a guy, don't you?
No. Out there myself with the scissors. Well, the Brewers strand the bases loaded. They do get one run. And to the bullpen they go. Chris Narveson will come into pitch for Gallardo. Narveson, the story from the pitching side this spring for Milwaukee.
Yeah, all he did was give up 0 runs in 13 innings of work down in Arizona as Craig Counsell takes over at third base. Good numbers a year ago as a Brewer.
So it essentially works as a double switch. Counsell pinch hit, but he'll stay in the game. Counsell will be due up third in the 8th inning, and Narveson will go into McGee's spot in the batting order. And Narveson will face Helton, Tulowitzki, and Hopp. Little flare to left field line. That is a fair ball. Helton on his way to second. And maybe a chance here. Braun's throw is late. Helton with a hustle double. And the Rockies put a runner in scoring position to start the 8th inning.
Yeah, Todd Helton, even at his age, he covers home plate as well as anybody. And doesn't try and pull the pitch unless he gets one in on him and the count in his favor. A little flare down the left field line. Braun was playing him over toward left center. And an easy double. Of course, it looked like an easy double initially, but Ronnie made it close. Tough to pitch to Todd Helton. I mean, he covers both sides of the plate extremely well.
35 years of age and his 13th opening day. Well, now a key matchup for Narveson against the right-handed hitting Troy Tulowitzki. The Rockies have had a base runner in every inning with the exception of the 6th. Gallardo goes 7. 4 runs, 3 earned. He's on the hook for the loss. The Brewers have 3 left-handers in their bullpen. Narveson and Parra will settle in as the long men at this point. Of course, Narveson can give you late innings such as this when you have a number of lefties. The situational lefty is Mitch Stetter. At some point, a decision will be made on a 5th starter. As Tulowitzki pops it up. Edmonds wants it. And the first out of the inning. Well, how about Giovanni Gallardo today, Rock? 7 strong innings for the Brew Crew.
No, pitched pretty well. I mean, he did lose his control a little bit in the 4th. He walked back-to-back hitters. Colorado scored a run without the benefit of a base hit, but still in all, you got to figure his first opening day, he threw the baseball pretty well. And on a day where he really didn't have good command of his changeup. His fastball had pretty good velocity, good location, but when you don't have your second-best pitch, it makes it a little bit more difficult.
Well, Gallardo was on the ropes after 5 innings. His best inning was the 6th, and he ends up giving Ken Maka and Rick Peterson 7 in this game today. Retiring 5 of the last 6 hitters he faced. Brad Hopp. Easy play for Braun. 2 outs.
Kind of the way Chris Narveson went about his business in spring training. Even the double by Helton wasn't hit all that hard. Good command down in the strike zone with all 4 of his pitches. He's got a great changeup. and commands the fastball pretty well. It's going to be interesting how the Brewers evaluate who they want in the bullpen between Parr and Narveson and who they want in the starting rotation. I guess, is it the guy that does the best out of the bullpen stays there, and the other guy starts? Who knows?
And then there's the Jeff Suppan situation. Suppan on the disabled list with a neck injury. He would be eligible to return the next time the Brewers need a fit starter, which would be the 15th of April as it stands right now in Chicago. So those are decisions that Ken Maka and Rick Peterson have to make. In the meantime, Parra and Narveson will pitch out of the pen.
Those discussions have been held very close to the vest at this point.
Brewers are going to take their chances with the left-handed hitting Stewart, who's on deck with a base open at first. Intentional walk, first and second for the Rockies. And a left-handed hitter coming up in Ian Stewart. Well, beginning April 10th, America's Pastime returns to Fox with the best players, teams, and matchups every week. And it all begins with the defending World Series champion New York Yankees. They take on the Rays, or it's the Cardinals and the Brewers from right here at Miller Park. Fox Saturday Baseball returns April 10th, following This Week in Baseball, 1:30 Central on Fox. 45,808, second largest crowd in Miller Park history on hand. 2 outs, 2 on, and Narveson gets ahead of Stewart. The only crowd larger than this one, 46,218 back in 03. September of 03 against the Cubs. Good hammer for strike 2.
Man, that's a good pitch for him. That's what he's been doing. All 4 for strikes. Hitter's not sure what's coming, no matter what the count is.
Ball and 2 strikes on Stewart.
It's got to be a big moment for Narveson. He really hasn't shown any signs of being a little over anxious, because obviously his first opening day, gets an opportunity to pitch. It affects control pitchers a little bit more than hard throwers.
Well, Narveson involved in a big deal in the Rockies history. He was originally a Rocky, involved in that Larry Walker deal that sent Narveson to St. Louis. Little bouncer to Counsell. And Chris Narveson keeps it rolling here, just like his spring training performance. A scoreless inning for the Rockies. Brewers coming up at the bottom of the 8th. Well, the Brewers known for the long ball. Their home run total in 2009 on a Powerball home run mark, 182 team home runs. Over 200 the year before that. Fielder had 46. Ryan Braun with 34. Brewers could use some of that power as we head to the 8th inning. The Rockies lead it 4-2. Carlos Gomez, the first home run of the year for Milwaukee. That was last inning. Now it's Rafael Betancourt in the game for Colorado. Jim Tracy's hard-throwing right-handed setup man.
Yeah, split time between the Indians and the Rockies. I mean, outstanding numbers. This guy is one of the best setup men in the game. He throws hard, throws a lot of strikes, very deliberate out there in the mound.
And if there is any question about the Colorado Rockies team this year, it is in their bullpen. Houston Street is on the disabled list, and they are not sure when he'll be available. Street has been completely shut down from throwing, and might not see him until May. Last year, Street saved all but 2 games, 35 of 37 save opportunities a year ago. The closing duties belong to Franklin Morales. The setup man is Betancourt, as Greg Zahn leads off this 8th inning.
Yeah, Betancourt will throw a lot of fastballs. He'll also flip up a changeup. But his slider is his second best pitch. There's that changeup. Didn't take long to break that out.
Greg Zahn is 0 for 3. A couple of ground outs and a fly ball out. Zahn, Escobar, and Counsell. Betancourt was a nice pickup from the Indians. Had a good year last year. He was an Indian parts of 6 seasons. First year with Colorado last year in 09. That's the only way to enjoy a Miller beer. Or maybe the best way, not the only way. It's pink too. Clint Barmes will take care of Zahn. Rockies did their scoring early. Got 2 in the 2nd inning. Scored without benefit of a hit in the 4th. And then a 2-out RBI single from Tulowitzki in the 5th. Brewers got 1 in the bottom of the 5th. Ryan Braun with an RBI double. Then Gomez homered in the 7th. Here is Escobar now. He's lined out twice. 0 for 3 in this game. He reached on an error in the first time up. Carrying the torch of another major league shortstop from Venezuela. Quite a burden to bear for a young player. It's one thing to be a big leaguer from Venezuela. It's another thing to be a big league shortstop from Venezuela.
Yeah, a lot of pressure to bring home the bacon. That's why, you don't really think too much about the pressures for Escobar in the big leagues, because the pressures back home are twice as much or twice as big.
Now, there's a lot more heat on you in a Venezuelan Winter League game, according to Escobar, than you would feel in a big league scenario.
Yeah, I talked to Willie Randolph at great length about Escobar and the possible effect of the pressure, being the shortstop in this ball club on opening day. He said, don't even give it a second thought. Not an issue for Alcides Escobar.
Betancourt strikes him out. 2 up, 2 down in this 8th inning.
Yep, fastball right by him. 92 miles an hour up in the strike zone. Well, you got to figure after Jimenez, and nobody really throws all that hard, but sometimes it's all about hiding the baseball, the release point. How quickly do you pick it up? Betancourt, throws his fastball. It seems to the hitter and seems the reaction of the swings that he's thrown a lot harder than that.
Easy cheese.
Yeah.
4 pitches to strike out Escobar, and now it's Counsell. Fouls one back our way. Well, one thing about Counsell, even at this point of his career, he can still hit the fastball. And as long as he can hit the fastball, he's going to continue as a big leaguer. That's one of the first things a manager will look for in a guy to come off the bench. There's a fastball by him, 0-2 the count.
Well, after his season hitting over 280, anybody would take Craig Counsell. Once again, 92 miles an hour, right by Craig.
Behind the plate, Ionetta gives it a look, and that one will end up in the seats. Counsell will be 40 this August. He was an original Rocky. He was drafted by the Rockies back in 1992. Back when he was not given much hope to be a big leaguer. He didn't project out to have a long career in the major leagues. He made his major league debut with the Rockies in '95, and since '97 he's been a big leaguer ever since. Now in his 15th year.
Released a couple of times and always able to find a job, and hard work and dedication, and very rarely making a mistake out there in a diamond. He'll always find some way to help you.
That .285 batting average you mentioned, the highest batting average for Counsell since 2000 when he played for the Diamondbacks. Hit .316 that year. Counsell into right field. That one is well hit. Backing up is Haupt, and he's got it. Craig Counsell just missed one. Inning is over. 3 up, 3 down. The Brewers go in order. Four to 2 Colorado as we head to the 9th inning, and Chris Narveson will pitch in his 2nd inning here today. Gomez 3 hits, including a home run. The Brewers have stranded a ton of men on base. 10 runners left on for Milwaukee. They've out-hit Colorado 11-8, but the Rockies lead at 4-2 here in the 9th.
Yeah, Brewers 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position. The only base hit was the Ryan Braun double back in the 5th inning to score Gomez. Rockies haven't been much better.
Barmes is 0 for 3. He lined out to third his last time up. Facing Narveson for the first time. Gets under one. Gomez coming in. And the first man out. Well, Narveson will try to finish off this 9th inning. That'll shut him down for a couple of days. One thing that Ken Maka has with Narveson and Parra in the bullpen, both of these guys were starting pitchers throughout the spring, so they have the full buildup. I mean, Narveson could give you 5-6 innings if need be. Same case for Manny Parra. Back to the, actually, Dexter Fowler batting in the 9 spot in the order. He pinch hit and stayed in the game in the 7th. Fowler, a switch hitting center fielder. Escobar, strong throw. Fowler is retired. Well, a matchup of Jimenez and Gallardo, two guys making their first career opening day starts. Menard's player of the game is Ubaldo Jimenez at this point. 6 innings, only 1 walk. He struck out 6. And only the 1 earned run.
Yeah, a lot of ground ball outs. I mean, if you were to say that both of these starting pitchers were making their first opening day start, I think that they handled it pretty well. I mean, their emotions were in check. Yo walked 2, unfortunately, in the same inning, but I think a success for both of them today.
Now the Rockies used 3 pitchers to get through the 7th inning. Brewers kind of whipped up a 2-out rally. Now the bases loaded, down 2 in that 7th inning. And Matt Daly came on to get Casey McGee to end the frame. And that's where we sit, 4-2 in the 9th. Tulowitzki has a hit and an RBI. He's 1 for 4. Ian Stewart has driven in a pair for Colorado. And the man at the plate, Carlos Gonzalez, has 3 hits. Make it 4 hits.
Not that easy, is it?
It's only the second 4-hit game of his career. Gonzalez was not on the opening day roster last year. As you mentioned, Rock, he is right where he was in the postseason last season.
Yeah, I mean, nice easy swing. Lefty versus lefty, stays right in there. That front shoulder doesn't budge. Narveson made a mistake middle in. And Gonzalez bangs it back through the middle. It's a good looking swing.
Jim Tracy will go to the bench. Ryan Spilborghs will bat for Seth Smith. And likely to stay in the game in left field. Two outs in the 9th.
Right here, Chris Narveson can't worry too much about Gonzalez over at first base. I mean, try and hold him on, but you know, majority of the attention has to be paid to that hitter. You don't want to be falling behind Spilborghs. He's got some pop in his bat.
8 home runs a year ago. That one's well hit to left field. Braun turns and watches. This is one hop off the wall. Gonzalez never slowed down, and he's going to score on a double from Ryan Spilborghs. It's a big run for the Rockies. 5-2 Colorado on a pinch hit RBI double.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. The veterans coming off the bench for Colorado. Looked like Narveson was going to get through the inning in pretty good shape. First 2 out, then a base hit by Gonzalez. Fastball, middle in, And Spielberg's turns on it. Had the count in his favor, looking fastball, got it, and ripped it off the base of the wall. And with Gonzalez' great speed, he scores easily.
5-2 Colorado. And Narveson to face Helton now, who has 2 hits today. He's been on base 3 times. Colorado punched a run across in the 5th inning with 2 outs. On back-to-back hits, it was Helton and Tulowitzki in that frame. Ian Stewart homered with 2 outs in the 2nd. So 3 of the 5 coming with 2 away. That's what good clubs do.
They just keep pecking away. This is a team, these Colorado Rockies, that in spring training, team batting average of .315. I mean, they can hit up and down this order. Not too many soft spots. There might not be household names they're throwing at you, but pretty good hitters.
Well, they're fast becoming household names, and if they continue showing up in the playoffs, which they've done 2 of the last 3 years, they've got a great nucleus here. And as we mentioned, a lot of depth. Jim Tracy is so comfortable with his club. Most of them returned from last year's playoff team, a team that won 92 games, 92-70. And you consider the start they got off to. So bad, their manager was fired, Clint Hurdle, who's now the hitting coach for the Texas Rangers. Craig Counsell makes the play. Nice catch. Well, the Brewers are down 3. They're right where they want to be in their order. The top 3 due up for the bottom of the 9th. This is on a wild pitch. Brad Hawkins scored from second base. Then Ian Stewart, a long home run with 2 outs in that 2nd inning. It was Stewart again with a sacrifice fly in the 4th. A 2-out rally for the Rockies in the 5th. Tulowitzki drove in the 4th run of the ballgame. Brewers answered. Ryan Braun doubled in Carlos Gomez in the 5th. Gomez then homered in the 7th inning. First and only home run of the game for the Brewers. That made it 4-2. The Rockies have just tacked one on in the 9th with an RBI double by Spielborgs. Clouds are rolling in. The roof's still open. And we head to the bottom of the 9th on opening day. And it's not Houston Street. It is Franklin Morales, who is the Rockies' closer to start the season.
He's got a good arm. I mean, this guy throws in the low to mid-90s with a fastball. 40 games last year, all out of the bullpen, a 4.50 ERA. Got a live fastball. He'll throw a slider. And with Houston Street, as you mentioned, on the shelf, best option for Jim Tracy right now. Man on the mound, Franklin Morales.
Street struggled in the playoffs a year ago against Philadelphia, but was as good as it was in the regular season. Just 2 blown saves all year for Street. 35 saves for the Rockies. He signed a 3-year deal this offseason. Street having some shoulder issues, and he's going to be on the shelf for at least a month. So it's Morales who takes over. He was a perfect 7 for 7, filling in for Houston Street last year for Colorado. A hard-throwing lefty. Top of the order coming up. Ricky Weeks, Carlos Gomez, and Ryan Braun. The Brewers down 3. Morales can have command issues, but there's no question about his strikeout ability. He can get into jams and he can get himself out. As Weeks sends one to right, Hawk will take a look. 1 ball, 1 strike on Ricky Weeks. That hit him? Sure did. Weeks is aboard the hard way.
There's those command issues you're talking about. It's not just a base on balls. Sometimes he throws it, just doesn't know where it's going. You would imagine a little bit of nerves from Morales. This guy's not been a closer. Getting an opportunity just below the knee. Ricky with a break right there. Look, he got some meat right around the upper calf area. That hits bone on that knee. That's going to smart.
Getting aboard any way he can.
23 walks from Morales last year with the Rockies in 40 innings. That's a lot of walks.
Here's Carlos Gomez. 3 hits, including a home run. What a run for the Rockies in the top of this frame. A big one. Gives them a 3-run lead. But the Brewers are where they want to be in their lineup. Got Braun coming up next. Then Fielder. That gets by Iannetta, and Weeks at second base, and already the command issues showing up for Franklin Morales.
Now, you got to believe there's some butterflies in the stomach of Morales. Jim Tracy pacing the dugout. Might want to send his pitching coach out there. Up there he goes, Bob Apodaca, maybe to calm him down because his release point is all over the map. First opening day for Morales as a starter. Seems as though he's really rushing his delivery. He's quick to home plate. Haven't seen much of him, but I don't think that's normally the way he pitches.
Gomez has had a big day in his first game as a Brewer. 2 singles, a home run. He scored 2 runs. Drove in a run on that home run in the 7th. Has a stolen base. Right now just trying to get on base for Ryan Braun. Not a bad idea. Gomez, an excellent bunter. Ball and a strike. Flare into right, long run for Brad Hopp, and that ball's going to fall. Gomez on his way to second. Weeks will stop at third. A break for the Brewers, and the tying run will hit here in the 9th inning.
Boy, a rabbit's foot in his pocket today. Wow. A little flare. Brad Hopp playing very deep, got a late break on it. All about making contact, not swinging and missing. Getting a piece of it, and watch Gomez run. Running hard out of the box. Ball goes off of Hopp, and Gomez gets into second base, taking away the possibility of a double play. Look at him go.
Well, the two guys who both go by the nickname Cargo, Carlos Gonzalez and Carlos Gomez, with 4 hit games today. Now Braun is up. The tying run at the plate with Fielder on deck. Morales missing badly.
96 miles an hour. He is pumped up.
Well, you remember the home opener from a season ago against the Chicago Cubs. It was Ryan Braun. Game-winning run batted in. Ricky Weeks scored the run. A bang-bang play at the plate. And that's how the Brewers picked up win number 1 last season. Will there be more dramatics on opening day here at Miller Park today?
Boy, Ryan's had a couple of good fastballs to hit here. You see him pacing around home plate. Back-to-back fastballs right down the pipe. Just a little bit behind. Those are the numbers we're talking about. Neither team very good today.
Only Braun and Gomez with hits with runners in scoring position. Ryan could tie it with one swing of the bat. A base hit will score 2. The 1-2 and a curveball into right. Hawk's going to make the play. Weeks will tag at third. So does Gomez. And the Brewers are within a pair. Sacrifice fly and an RBI from Ryan Braun. And it's 5-3 Colorado.
And doing a good job of just trying to put the ball in play. Cut down his swing just a little bit and hit it deep enough into right to score the run. That's a good at bat by Ryan. He had a couple of very good fastballs to hit early in that at bat.
First out of the inning, and now it's Fielder. Gomez tagged. He's at third. Fielder can tie it. Jim Edmonds is on deck. Ball and a strike.
And remember, the pitcher's spot is in the hole. Edmonds on deck, and you figure maybe Corey Hart get a shot. If it gets that far, you hope it does.
Fielder, a shot. Oh, it's caught by Tulowitzki. Up the ladder he goes. Troy Tulowitzki robbing Fielder of extra bases. Man, what a play.
Hangs right in there against lefties, doesn't he, Prince? A bullet right at Tulowitzki, and he needed every bit of his 6'2" frame to grab that one. Well, Morales came with him with the hard stuff. Fastball away, first pitch, and then Prince had 2 pretty good hacks. Fouled that one straight back, and then got on top of one at 97 miles an hour, but right at the shortstop.
A tall shortstop, Troy Tulowitzki at 6'3", pulls one down. He looks like he's shaken up a little bit. Last call, Jim Edmonds at the plate for the Brewers. Still representing the tying run, Corey Hart has moved into the on-deck circle. Ball and 2 strikes. It's a tough matchup for a left-handed hitter with Morales on the mound. It's one of the areas where the Brewers have a little bit of concern. There aren't many teams with left-handed closers, but not many right-handers on the bench on any given day for Milwaukee. Edmonds lines one right to Barmes, and that's your ball game. 2 line drive outs to end it. And the Colorado Rockies win it 5-3. Brewers out hit them 12-10. Jimenez the winner. Morales the save. Gallardo suffers the loss. We'll check in with the guys, Craig and Davey, at the set when we continue for Brewers Live.